Hey guys, so we are back to finish our beautiful love blocks and going to get these sealed as well as add our letters and get them fully finished up here. So, get myself in position. We're going to start with our Mod Podge. We need to go ahead and get these sealed, and we need it to dry fully this time so that it's all dried before we start painting on our letters. That bag is pretty darn nasty. I am going to try one of the silicone brushes. Now this container, if you watched the first episode, you know that it is coming to its end. And I am doing this silicone brush. Kind of like it. Now, one disadvantage about pouring it on like I did is that when we do the dry transfer, it doesn't fully absorb into your napkin. So we're going to get some textures happening. And I'm not super worried about it, except it is really happening right here where I laid that. I might need to put this in a container so that we're not going right on our surface. But I'm going to go with that nature is imperfect, and so we might end up just having, you know, little wrinkled petals, because let's be real, nature is imperfect. Oh, we've got some dripping down. Let's try to pick this up and just... Now this one definitely has this flap. I'm going to try to just go under it and then over it. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Very nice. Oh, the dogs are in with me and they hear a truck. But I thought I'd be nice. Let y'all be in here with me because we're not doing resin. And then, nope. They hear something. Oh, they hear the mail truck. That's what it is. Doing this during the day, so. Okay, I'm going to set this one off to the side. You can see we have some white patches. We're not going to get those out. Those are going to clear up as that Mod Podge dries. And that's fine. I just wanted to point it out. And that will also help us know that it's dry. When you're doing your top coat, you do need to be careful about not rushing the drying process too much, because it can trap. It could get your top layer of Mod Podge dry, but trap a still moist part of Mod Podge in. It can like encapsulate if your Mod Podge is too thick, and then it's not gonna clear up and dry clear because you encapsulated. So if you notice, like, I'm going over this multiple times, really trying to thin this out, try to get this to just full on absorb into the napkin, dry up so that it's gonna dry fully. I do love this silicone brush for this, actually. Wasn't sure if it was gonna give me exactly what I wanted, but it is. It's looking, so that's pretty cool. Okay, that one can dry. Oh no, does this one have like... Oh, it seemed to seal itself when we painted it, so that's good. Okay, move that around some so it's not all in that one spot to wrinkle and bubble up. Now you could put some of this Mod Podge like in a little dish or even a silicone dish and essentially just brush a very thin amount on at a time, and you wouldn't get as much as I'm getting with the wrinkles you could do that. But again, you know, nature is imperfect, and petals are gonna have, flowers and petals are gonna have some definition. And so I think that gives it some definition. It kind of worked out. This tulip really did that wrinkling, so it makes that tulip pop. And I am checking my sides just because, especially with that first one, I had some running down. Nice thing about the silicone brushes, if you have that, it's just picking it right on up. It's pretty cool. Alright, una más to go, which is exciting. We might play with our color for the outside. I'm seeing red, but I have a lot of pink over here. I don't know if I have a red, pop of color red. I might have to look once I put this. Oh, that was maybe a little much, but that's okay. Let me get it spread out. I'll spread it out. Mod Podge has some workable time, so you know, it's not instantly when it goes on drying on you, which is nice. It allows you to kind of work with it. But it is like a glue. The more it's in the air and the air touching it, the more it's going to start to set up. I had enough on here that I actually wiped my brush back into my bottle just because there's a little extra happening on this for sure. And you want to try to not get your like brush lines, and really the silicone brush really helps with that, unless that's the look you're going for, of course. Okay, so we'll let that dry. I'm gonna put lid back on this so that it stays sealed. It is challenging just because of the plastic, but it does extend the life of your Mod Podge. This should just kind of wipe off, and then honestly speaking, if you don't get it all wiped off, it's just gonna dry up and just peel right off, which is fantastic. I could also wait for it to be fully dry and then just peel it, but I opted to just wipe it. It's kind of like my resin. I would prefer to wipe it while it's wet. It just gives me a little clean. I do have a red. Oh, I like this red too. I'm going to shake it up. Shake, shake, shake it up. Alright. Let's see what we think. Okay. Get myself back in here. We're good. Alright, so this is a pop of color. Actually, this is a shock paint pop of color. They kind of changed their name. They're interchangeable, I guess. Normally, I dab a little bit of color in that spot so that I know what color it is. I haven't even opened this one, as you can see. So, we're going to get to open it. And these little metal pieces are truthfully the best for it, because you can poke a little hole and then go all the way around. And this one is going to actually peel up. And then what I do, I really like this red. I don't know if I love it for Christmas side, but I do love it for this especially. That's going to fully peel off, but there's a ton of paint on there that I want to use. You know what? I didn't wipe the edges very well. Or I wiped the edge and then it got up top. Okay. See, that's going to look really, really good. Alright. Let's set our lid to the side. Move that out of our way. I brought up my brush. So there's a ton of paint on this lid. Now I shook the bottle so that it should have mixed it pretty well. Looks like some of this dried on top. It's not as much as I thought it was. Okay. Well, I probably should have put gloves on. I can't reach the trash can, so we're just going to go there with it. Put it right on top of my paper towel so that it's there. This does look like it needs probably a little mix to it, even though I shook it. So I'm going to take one of my stir sticks and just go ahead and mix that up. Definitely had some settling happen with it, which is all fine and dandy. I just want to get it mixed correctly. I'm going to go ahead and set this on our side because this is not going to affect our front. It can still be drying while we paint our side. I just painted the snowflake. That was good. Okay. Note to self. Slow it down. I will probably border these. Just looking at this, the way this is going, because it is definitely gonna need a border. Oh, that was wet. On the front, we'll probably border with just a paint pen, just as the transition of that. I think that's how we're gonna do that. That way, if a little bit ends up over on that side, I'm not super concerned about it. And obviously on the back side for our snow side, this is all going to get done anyway, so I'm not overly worried about ending up with color on it, because I'm going to do that side at some point. That might be a later this year tutorial. I feel like I'm being really messy, which I never like to be. I don't like to be super messy. I try to keep myself in line. This is going to take a couple coats, probably, just the way it's reacting on the sides. Again, I'm not super worried about this back side when I'm doing it, but I'm going to try to avoid the front getting a big long streak, so I'm just slowing down a little bit on that. And then making sure that this will kind of dry out. Now, I can't flip it one more time because we would be on the side that we already painted. So, the front is still definitely very wet from Mod Podge, but I'm trying to kind of streamline us a little bit by doing the red on the sides, because we need that Mod Podge to dry so that we can do the letters on the front, but we also want to get our sides done. So if you wanted, this project could be done in a way that, like, you come in, if I wasn't doing a tutorial, I'd probably do this in multiple steps. I would probably have put the Mod Podge on the front, walked away, went and did something else, let it fully dry, come back, do my love letters, or go ahead. Oops, sorry. I totally smacked y'all with the brush. But, and then I would come back and do, you know, either the letters or the sides from there. But since we're doing a tutorial, and I have the time, I'm trying to get it all knocked out for us. This side keeps like acting as if, or this piece particularly, keeps acting as if I've run the brush through some white. I don't know what that's about. Might be reacting with the Mod Podge. I don't know. Or if there was some white left in this brush that now is come down. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Also weird. But we know we're going to do 2 coats anyway, so I'm not overly stressed about it. Now, we can use our heat gun on the Mod Podge too. And we probably will here in a minute. I just felt like it just doesn't lay flat, but okay. However, again, we gotta be careful with that Mod Podge and not have it go too fast, dry too fast, and end up being funky with us. So that is why I am trying to do a little bit of the side painting before we decide to do the front and do that, because we need to let it kind of do its own thing. I don't want to have it react too fast. So we'll get 2 sides on all these done. Well, they're going to need another coat. So we'll get the first coat on all these sides done. And then we'll see where we're at. I might then just put on the second coat and continue to let them do their thing. I gotta watch this brush. I kind of want to, like, cut these brushes down just a smidge. I have enough of them. I might do that on a couple just so that I'm not constantly doing this, because I feel like that's just gonna be a constant battle that I have. I do like. So this one had a little bit of funky with the green here. Once we put the Mod Podge to seal, this green stem is kind of coming through. So I might come back with a little pink marker and just, you know, try to clean that up a little bit, make it look more like the tulip. That's the one thing about overlaying the napkins that you can run into once you get them sealed. Now, if we weren't painting on top, I might not seal it fully. I don't know. I mean, it's probably better to. And if I were giving as a gift or selling, yeah, probably. This is a piece I'm going to keep, so I might cut the corner a little bit on it because of that. But because I am painting on top, I didn't want to have a rougher surface. I want to be able to have that sealed and not worry about the paint being absorbed by the napkin and such. So, you know, little things we do. Alright. They're so pretty. I do really like them. There's gotta be... It's funny because this brush doesn't show that there's anything in it, but it's almost like there is. And I rinsed it really good the other night, so... I don't know. Or it's peeling the paint, pulling the paint off. I don't know. We don't know. Okay, let's look. So this one is still pretty wet, especially around our yellow. So I'm going to set it over here on the side for a moment. You'll want to see another Mod Podged item. So this is a plastic juice container that I painted. I think I painted it, I think it was already white, so I painted it like a purple, like a lavender purple. Put crackle paint on it, and then white over top of that. And then decoupage this napkin on it. That's so cute. I really need to put like some twine up here. I use it to hold all my brushes. Well, technically not all my brushes. Quite a few of my brushes I use that for. So, that's kind of what I do and have done, is creating like that kind of stuff. Okay. I'm just going to set, I'm going to bring us back to our first one that we painted. Well, hi, Stella. My puppy dog. Stella Bailey's. She's jumping up on me to say hi. Like, I'm not going to pet you because I have paint. And I might end up getting red paint on you. And then think it's blood or something. And I don't want that this afternoon. Like, I am good without that drama. Heather, like a couple weeks ago, I let the dogs out, and it's been so much snow and everything on the ground, and came back in, and I noticed when I unhooked them from their leashes that my boy dog Trax had blood on his face. And I'm like, where is this blood coming from, buddy? Like, you know, did you get a paw? Did you stick your face in the snow and like scratch yourself? So forth. I'm like, goodness. So I'm like investigating all over, trying to figure out where this blood is coming from. And I can smell the iron. I mean, it's not strong. I'm like, where is this blood at? I can't find it. And I'm like investigating, and I see it like on his, well, I take that back. So I first noticed it when I unhooked him. I noticed it smeared across my arm, and he had brushed against my arm. So I was like, oh, he's bleeding somewhere. I checked Stella. She was fine. Looking all over him, and I can't figure out what is bleeding on him. But there's blood like kind of near his nose, up above his eye. But it's like surface on his fur, so it's not like coming from his skin. It's literally like transferred to his fur kind of thing. So I'm like, what the heck? My youngest is with me, and she's like, what are you doing, Mom? And I'm like, well, there was blood, and I can smell it, and I don't know where it's coming from. And then we look at my arm, and there's a big like bubble of blood on my arm. It was me. I had somehow picked a scab that I didn't know that I even had, mind you. And when I let him in, he brushed up against that scab. And of course I was smelling it because guess what? It was on me. Like, it's just like, oh gracious. So the dogs were like, what are you doing? Why are you like checking us out? I'm like, oh, I'm the one bleeding. I'm like, told my daughter, like, can you go get me a Band-Aid? Because clearly I'm gonna need that. I even looked out in the snow, like, for blood. I was like, oh, it must have, like, maybe he cut himself, and I can determine, you know, which one was bleeding. And no, it was me. That was my own blood. Like, oh gracious. Like, okay. So, yeah. If I ended up getting this paint on her, I would think it was blood and then have a panic. So, we'll avoid that drama for the afternoon. Okay. Almost got 2 coats on here, and I think 2 coats is going to be pretty sufficient for them. Looks pretty good. And I think our Mod Podge is getting pretty dry on the front. Ew, what was that? Where did you come from? Some little fuzz thing. Okay. That was lovely. Not so great. Okay. I know I might be out of y'all's frame just a smidge. It's just that it's a tight spot here, so bear with me. Okay. This one, there's just this edging that is just a little, see how it's like almost repelling the paint. So I'm gonna put it on pretty thick and gently smooth that out. Okay, cool. Alrighty, now let's check our first one. Problem is, you gotta be careful if you've got paint on you, what you're touching, where are you touching, kind of thing. This one's pretty good. I'm probably gonna hit them with a little bit of the heat gun, just to like get that fully done, and also dry up our sides a little because they're pretty wet. Speed that process on up. So just a little heat gun. Just going across. Constant movement as we do anytime we use the heat gun. Just like consistent movement back and forth. And this is going to help us get this dried up so that we can continue on. And you can see it change from less shiny to more dull. And then you know it's dry. The biggest thing with your Mod Podge is you're looking for any spots that are white. And I really don't see any. There's definitely textural there, and there's like a textural thing here. But again, I'm not super worried since it's going to be mine. I think I put my finger in the wet Mod Podge there and made kind of a bubble thing go, but I'm not going to stress about it. Alright. You know what's going to come soon is we have to decide what letter goes on what piece, and that's going to be super hard for me because that's making a decision. And I don't always do well with that. I second guess a lot. That one might actually be a Mod Podge bubble, but dried on the outside and ended up with white on the white in it, so I'll probably have to press that, okay. Just like pricking a hole or smoothing it out. I just can't do it with my current position of holding and doing the heat gun. These are looking good though. Surely. Again, I think I touched it right there. So I'm going to make it worse. I might just go over it with a paint pen. At Mod, we'll see what happens. It makes such a difference with the guys. I probably shouldn't have my open container over there in the nice spot. Oh, it's all cool. It's all good. We definitely know we gotta do 2 coats at least. I might have to do a third. I'll see. We'll see. 2 coats is for sure. Third might help with like some of the wood is still showing pretty significantly, like the dark spots of the wood. Like you can see some of these parts of the wood more. So we might do a 3rd coat for that purpose. Let's take a look. So this one has this spot here. It has a little spot here. That spot is where it fully peeled. That is clearly a fully peeled, like, white spot. And I'm not doing a ton of the color because I want it to kind of blend. And I'm not going to have the exact color that is, but actually that worked out. Okay, now the hard one is going to be this green. This is definitely not going to be the color, I realize. I'm just trying to get a color down that will kind of cover this green up before we do our pinks in here. That isn't too obnoxious, basically. Let's see. I really wish that I had like a full-on white pen. I don't. think we're just gonna, this tulip is gonna get a different look than the others, and that's fine. That's okay. Okay, I kind of like that. We're giving it some shading. We're coming along. Not there yet, but we're coming. It's if you notice, I'm just kind of doing a dab opposed to like a full brush stroke, and that's just helping with the blending side of it. It's just helping blend a little more than it would if I did strokes. So it just helps us and keeps with just kind of the natural, not a straight line situation that we want to kind of keep it as. So yep, that one's too dark. So we're gonna have to go back over with the lighter just to blend that. But we've done it, so sometimes when that happens, you just gotta like, okay, yep, did that. That didn't work how I truly thought, but you know what? When we go back over with the light, if we do it now before it's fully set dry, now it's more blended. I just wanted that to have a little bit darker point. I wish it was a little pinker, but I don't know. That's what I was going with the darker one, and then it definitely was too dark. This is better. This is more what I wanted. Yeah. Okay. And actually, I think I'm just gonna put a few dots here, and then I'll use the lighter, and then I think that's gonna be what I want. It's just kind of a trial and error, you know? Keep layering until we get it where we want it to be. This is the thing. To see how it made that just a smidge more pink to go with the actual tulip color. That's what I was wanting. I didn't want it to have such a difference. Like, it was coming off very tan and pink. So this way it just does it a little bit better. Alright, so this one, let's see. I think we are going to go ahead and do 3 coats on the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 sides that we've already started. And this coat might just be a quick, like, real thin, almost like a dry layer in a way, but not dry. I don't know if that makes sense, but okay, yeah. Yep. I think that's gonna work. Very nice. Very nice. Yepers. So, the other 2 sides will have to get done too. But we're going to let these 2 dry before we start more. Let's see this one. Okay, so I've got this patch, and I've got a little bit there. But I think with this one, it's just going to be a little bit of blending to make this the color that I want it. And I think I just gotta... That one I'm not going to worry about. It's so light. I'm not going That's not quite the color we want, but we'll keep working it. Getting closer. Still a little too light. Let's add our metallic one in. Nope. That is still, is it this? Looks like, no, it's very white. Like one of them I felt like it was very dark purple for what it actually is, but not purple. I looked at a purple marker, y'all, okay? I looked at a purple marker. This is definitely more peachy. It's like, I swear I looked at a purple marker, not a pink. I almost wonder if I should go like a red into it. I'm trying to find the one that like I accented with right there. But like I'm not seeing that. And I think they're all put away. This is more of a brown. But I thought maybe it would get us closer, which it, I mean it is. It's oh lordy. Lordy. Okay. I swear it is this one. But that's clearly not that one. I don't know what letter this one will end up being. If I can just sort of blend it out. That's gonna look too weird. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing one of my markers. But then I'm not. So I'm just really thrown. I thrown a curveball here. Because I swear it's like, this is what I have. But it, to me, there's a darker color. I remember I dropped one last time we were crafting, but I picked it up when we got done and I put it away, so let's just look over here. Sometimes things like to roll under our table, but nope. Okay. We're just gonna have to roll with it because that's all we can do. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I'm not hating, but I don't love it. Like, come up in there some. And I think I'm gonna have to paint this blue flower so that it's not. That's part of it too, is that I just need to bring a little bit more of this color in to the flower to make it, you know, not look like it's just full on random. Okay, let's get our blue. There's like a gray. Yeah. And then we'll outline it. I should probably did the brush side. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna switch to the brush side. It's just not working for what I want, which is funny. Like the brush side doesn't have the gray in it though. Because if you recall last video, it was like, oh, I don't love. I prefer to have the non-brush side, and then now I'm full on loving the brush side. It actually might work out to advantage that just kind of blends it. And that is just shadowing. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay, let's border this flower a little bit more. I think we did before border it, but it's needing some extra. This blue is really pretty. I like it. I like it a lot. Like, where have I not been? Okay. Like that one. It's better. It ain't perfect, but it's better. I'm probably going to notice this tulip more. Probably more than anybody else will. You know, as the artist, we always see the imperfections. Plus we know where the imperfections are because we were the ones making the item. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Okay. So again, just trying to get another coat on this since it's gonna take a minute for it to dry. Get that third coat up. Basically just trying to hit up all of our imperfections on the front. Get our third coat on the two sides that we've got it. And then we'll keep working it. Okay, so this one, we definitely had a tulip underneath the pink. So, why is it all the pinks that we got to do? Like, gracious. Like, all of our pinks. So, I'm going to try to add our pink color in here. Because that's the flower on top, basically. We could have made the tulip on top, but the tulips are really hard to match the color too. And yeah, I guess I could have just did a color for that entire tulip, but you know, this is working for us, so we'll just roll with this setup. It's definitely coming out a lot pinker than the other part, so I am going to probably try to do a little bit in these other ones just to bring that pink blending. Yeah. It's like I'm transferring that darker color over to the petals over here. Plus, this marker is darker than what's over there too. But it's just helping that I come get in the dark paint, lighten it a little bit, and then transfer. Nice thing about these, as you can see, I'm just like squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. And it doesn't really leave brush marks or anything like that, which is nice. There, I like that flower a lot better. Let's go ahead and border it with even a little bit different pink. Just to give it that clear definition for it. Uh-oh, I hear pitter-patter of feet. That could mean children are not getting along. I was hoping they could last through a tutorial. Okay. I think that's good. I don't see really any other areas that I would maybe here. But that was part of the way that napkin just was. We could bring the orange on down. I might do that just to, I think it would make more sense if this was a complete flower and didn't just break off. Yep, they are screaming. I might have to go handle that. Let's see if they can figure it out on their own. And if not, I'll intervene. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. It's a little bright, but I like it. Alrighty, let's add our other side of this. I like the third coat is making a huge difference, I do believe. So, you know, I definitely suggest that, especially because we didn't paint it white really before. A little bit of whitewash on it, just the way they were. Or I think I coated them once with white when I was going to do the other side, and then, yeah. But, yeah, looks good. Okay. Last one for our imperfections. But, oh, this one really didn't have any. That's right. I love that. It had a little bit right here. And I think it's just going to be what it is. And I really don't think anybody's going to notice. I don't think I would notice, except that I saw it and then now can't unsee it. So, also be careful when you're bringing your brush around. If you have too much paint on your brush, you could drip on the front of your piece. That would be rather devastating. Especially at this phase where we've got it pretty good. This one's having a little trouble in that spot, so just add a little extra. Okay, so I think that we can go ahead and get a coat on the other two sides. I think what it is that it's repelling the paint, so sometimes it looks like it's white getting mixed in, but it's just repelling the paint. So it could be where Mod Podge like came down on the edge, and that would be resisting the paint for sure. So it's just a matter of getting it on there, and then sometimes once you do a strip, just let that dry. And if you need to, do a couple extra coats, which I don't love to have to do, honestly. Not a big fan of having to do multi-coats, but that's just because I get impatient. It has nothing to do with the project or my ability or anything of that. It's just that I get bored and impatient with it. And that's true honesty. That is the way my brain functions. So I've had a lot of learning this year with my brain. Just learning that I definitely have ADHD, and here's a hair. And so navigating that through life, late diagnosis kind of thing. Just good times. Alright. And if you have ADHD, you understand. Or if you suspect you have ADHD, you understand. Things just come and go. And we get bored of repetition. At least I do. I do not like doing the same thing over and over every day. I was, earlier today, this is such a thing too, I was doing dishes, and like, because our sinks, both sides of the sink, were full on overflowing. It was like they had to be done. So I start doing them, and I got the dishes probably, I would say, halfway. I got the right side of the sink completely done. Left side I had emptied quite a bit on, and there were still some on the counter, but it was like, okay. Now, did it fully fill the dishwasher? No, so I needed to keep going to fill the dishwasher. I had plenty that I could fill the dishwasher. But so I'm maybe like half to 3/4 of the way with dishes, right? And I'm standing there doing them, and I'm like, man, I'm so over this. Like, I just kind of want to go finish doing XYZ, or go sit down and do this. And I had to tell myself, I'm like, okay, you're being a little ridiculous. You're being a little bit of a diva here. Finish these dishes up. Just get it done. You're already here. Your hands are already gross. Like, just get them loaded and start the dishwasher. If you don't get the rest rinsed, that's fine. At least you got the dishwasher started. That's the big thing. So I did before I did anything else, because I would have sat down and then they would have been there until my husband like finished them, and he'd be like, why did you do these halfway? I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing them anymore. It's like, okay, so we have to push through some of those sometimes to, like, you know, we may not want to do it, but it's a necessary thing. But I struggle with that sometimes. Like, just finish the project. Just finish it. That's one reason why I love doing tutorials, is because I don't want to say force, because I don't feel like that's the right word, but it does make me actually finish things and not get something part way and then lose interest in it, because I'm like, y'all need to be able to see the whole process, and I don't want to shortchange you. And so it really gets me to like go through and actually do it, which is good. So see, y'all are helping me. Y'all are helping me with that, and it's very much appreciated, because I actually get things more done that way, and projects aren't left halfway done, because there's parts of it that I don't truly love. Like, I need somebody who can come in and just finish things. Like, I'll get them started and I'll give you the brain. I think I just did that one. It's still really wet. I'll give you the brain power behind it, and I'll give you the design idea and the thought process behind it all, and I'll do part of it. But could you just do the parts I don't like? Yeah. Cool, right? Totally makes sense. It's like when I cross stitch. I do not like backstitching. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. I think because it's monotonous. It's very... I gotta focus where I'm at. I can't just... I mean, yeah, when you cross stitch, you gotta pay attention a lot of times. But, you know, still, I'm just like, oh, okay. Trying to figure out, okay, this side and this side. It's like, which two sides need it? I'm setting these over on this side over here where my laptop is. And I know the last video I got white paint on my laptop. I now have red paint on the laptop. Should wipe off with a Clorox wipe and be just fine. But I'm just like, my brain is like, oh, why made you do that to yourself? Hi, Stell. I know you're ready to be out of here, but it's kept y'all chill for the most part. Y'all probably gotta go potty. I don't know when you last went, truthfully. I don't know if your dad let you out. Yeah, is that what it is? You're needing to go potty? Well, we'll be done soon. We'll be done soon. Okay. Let's hit these with a little bit of heat. Just because we want to speed this process up. A smidge. And I'm going to drop this one. I'm going to drop this. This video is coming to you on either the 13th or the 14th, depending on how I get it done. But that will be the video of the week, so I won't have one on Sunday like normal. Just because I'm not going to have enough time to get another tutorial situated for that. But just so you know, when you're seeing this, this is coming to you on the 13th or 14th. And then don't expect a Sunday drop, since this will count as that week's tutorial. Because part 1 of this is coming out the week before. Coming out on the 8th. I listen to podcasters and they're like, we never know what week it is and what week it's dropping. And yep, I now understand your pain. It's hard to keep up with what is done and what we've done and what's going to actually post when we're going to post it. Even though I control all of that, I don't have anybody that helps with that, so. But between work and kiddos and dogs and cats and life, you know, that's why I really thought this was going to be a one-parter, but it turned into much longer, so we had to split it to 2. I'm like, well, I don't want you to get it after Valentine's Day, because it's cute. You could finish it the day before Valentine's Day. Or do it after Valentine's Day, and then you'll have it for next year. I've done that with a lot of things. Truthfully. I'm like, oh, I have to finish this project so I can put this stuff away. I can put that away with Easter or whatever holiday it is. Okay, let's put a 3rd coat on these sides, and then let's get our letters on. How's that? And then these pretty blocks are done for the left side. I can't say they're fully done because at some point we'll do the snow side and get to fully complete them. But we'll get the letters and we'll put a border on the front. I think it will be like a gold or a silver, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we decide. Biggest part is deciding. This one I went a little crazy. I'm gonna have to do a pretty big border. It's gonna be deciding what gets what letter. There we go, bumping y'all again. I'm telling you. I think I have like a little saw thing for my Dremel, and I think that would work very well. I'll just cut this down, and if I need to, I can put a little tape over the top so I don't get a splinter or something, or sand it to where, you know, type thing. Okay. Ooh, see, that's where, yep. I have to tell my impatient side of my brain, you're okay. It's okay. You gotta slow it down. You gotta make sure that you're not rushing this. Because then it's gonna take you longer to finish because you're gonna have to fix a mistake that you did. Alright, we got 2 more sides here. Feels good. Feels good. And then for rinsing my brush, since I don't have water up here or a sink up here, I'll take it. Ooh, that was dang near close. I'll take it downstairs and rinse it with water. I like to use a little Dawn soap too. Helps get the color out and everything. So that's what I do for that. See, my finger had a little of the red. I'm not gonna stress over it. Again, I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay, and the same thing with that silicone stir stick. I'll just wash it off with some soap and water, and we'll be good. Alright, let's determine where we want to put our love, our letters, our L-O-V-E. L-O-V-E. I'm gonna flip these around. So, I think I want this one. I'm trying to determine. I know it probably ultimately doesn't matter, but it's really throwing me for a loop. I kind of want to do it, and this goes against what I said before with it, but this is what I want to do. And I gotta be careful to show you. So, I want this to be the L. Oh, y'all, I thought I did that, but I was like, surely you didn't. Look at that. Oh, gracious. Not helping ourselves. Good thing is, it is the bottom, so I'm not going to stress too much about it. But let's end up on a side that's not. So I'm going to do that one as the L. And then I'm going to do this one as the E. And then I probably did these too. Yep. This is VE. Look at how the orange goes. I like that. Okay. Well, we put these when I was looking at them incorrectly. Okay, so that's the O. I'm just going to try to get myself situated here so that I know where I'm at. This is the V. And this is the E. And this is the L. Okay. So, I have some stencils just to give me a rough, you know, spot to put them. That's how I want it. I just want a little guidance, basically. Let me find our L-O-V-E. I hope these are the okay size. I'm going to have to hold different size. Some of these look rather big. Here's the V. So that's about perfect. That's the E. The O. Huh. I guess the L is probably lowercase. So that's probably the L. And then I'll just use it, I'll flip it and use it to do our other part of it. Okay. So, got our things. I am going to use an acrylic paint pen to just help guide me on this part. You know? I don't think I want the L, like, maybe as tall as that. I think I want it to be, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go a little to the left, a little to the right. And I brought it up a little bit more than what I per se want. Or not per se want, a little more than what it was going to do. Ooh, I gotta be careful. Because that just did a thing. Yes, I'm going to clean up the edges, y'all. And I'm going to have to clean that up. Okay. Yep. That's going to look good. Now, the more I push this marker down, the more it's trying to, like, go into the napkin, even though I did a layer Mod Podge. So, there's that. Alright. I do think I want purple. I love purple. So, and this is for me. So, you know, we get to do what we want. Alright. Gracious, I just put that in the red paint. I really don't want to make this a third or try series because I want to get it to you. But we are just struggling. Gracious. A little bit of water and wipe on a paper towel. Okay. So this should be open. We're going to probably have to do a little touch up on that down here, but we'll get there. This is going to need stirred. I can see that because the color is definitely not fully mixed in. The dye. Ooh, this purple is. Oh, purple is. It is something else. I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. Okay. Y'all see what I just did? Oh. Okay. Yep. So, I might end up just doing some touch-up after the tutorial's over. Let these fully dry up before I do any more messing with them. Because clearly, I am struggling. Now, I am not the best painter by any means. And this is going to take several coats because of the color. But, and I'll probably border the letters anyway with like a white or a silver or a gold or something just to give them that accent of color. But it's definitely going to need more than one coat. Which I expected. I was hopeful, but I expected. Okay. So I think that's gonna look really good. Look how pretty. I like that a lot. I really do. Okay. Let's have a yellow. That is a very bright yellow. Put that thought I saw a little lighter one, yeah. Oh no, that's this. I put it back in there. This is the same exact one. There we go. Okay, so that's cleaned up. Maybe let's just hit this with some heat. And then give it a coat on it before I remove it. That looks really good. I really do like this. I might only need 2 coats, so it all depends on down here. This brush is a little curved at the top, so these corners are not the easiest. But an edge is not the easiest. I would definitely suggest getting a square brush. But the width of this was the one I wanted. I just didn't pay attention that it was rounded and not square. Oh yes. Oh yes. That is pretty. Oh, so pretty. I love that. I really and truly love that. I think it looks so good. Okay. Let's see if I can pick this up without making a disaster. This is the bottom, so not so worried about it, but of course the side here ended up with my fingerprints. For the sake of our video and timing, I'm not gonna worry about that. I think what I'm gonna do, because of the timing, I am going to finish these up, not on video, and I will come on and do a quick video to merge it together to show the final ending and just kind of tell you guys about how long it took me, just because I feel like this is going on and on very long, and yeah, and I keep making mistakes, so I feel like I need to regroup myself, probably take a break, come back, you know, which I hate to do because once I dirty a brush, like, I like to get done with it, but it's clearly I just put my hand in more paint, so it's time. I think my blood sugar is low and I should go get a snack and wrap this one up here in a little bit and show you guys just that final video. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm so happy that you guys have joined me. I hope to see you guys again soon for the next tutorial. Probably going to move on to St. Patrick's Day, because I think that's next. So I'm going to try to do some more themed things this year. So St. Patrick's Day, we'll probably do some earrings or something like that. So hope you guys are enjoying, and I will see you back again soon. Bye. Hey guys, so I got the other 3 done. I probably spent about 45 minutes working on them, so glad that I decided to split this up, just because of timing with everything. So I'm going to show you what I did. Basically, I of course painted approximately like 3 coats of the purple on here, and then I tried doing like a silver border around the letter. Didn't look right, so I decided that I liked the purple that I had used to stencil my letter in place, so that I would use that as my border one. Now the brush side isn't as dark, but the other side is a little too dark, so we're doing a combination of them. This is a little funky right there. Let's square that out a little bit more. So, going with one, and then going with the other, just to give us some blending effect with our border. And as you can imagine, this just takes time and patience to go around every letter. So, which is why, good thing I split it up. Okay, so there's that. I did some touch-ups, like where I felt that a little touch-up was needed. And then, lastly, I am taking a gold, probably left, I was cleaning my space. And one should not do that when you're still working a project, because I took my gold pen that I was using. So I want my good out. So I'm just using a uni paint marker. It's gold. I'm gonna need to be careful because that still is probably a little bit wet. And I did my first like round with this, and then I go and make this thicker so that it truly looks like a border. And you have the gold here, and it hides where I came over the edge a little bit with the red paint. It's a little tricky where we have some roughness of the napkin, but I use this pen. This pen seems so stiff in comparison. This guy. It's the same thing, but just exact same pen, just same style of pen, same brand, same everything. It's just that this one was flowing better, and yeah, it's much better. I can tell already. I was like, if that's how this is gonna be, it's gonna take me forever to get this one bordered. Now I'm gonna have to do pretty thick, so I'm gonna do another round on here. You could use a ruler or a piece of paper or a stencil to help you with a straight line. I'm typically pretty decent with it, so I just kind of wing it. It's not a super big deal, so. But if you struggle with that, I would definitely say, you know, get yourself a little piece of paper or a ruler and go use that as your guideline. As you saw, maybe it was peeling a little bit of that paint off, so I'll probably have to come back to that. That was a little risky, what I just did, but it worked out. Normally I build off the edge and then go in to make it a wider line. I get the edge done. And then I'll go in and I'll make this wider for us. This one's been a little bit rougher. Just trying to peel off. Good thing about these markers is it's an oil base on the type that I'm using right now. So they dry super, super fast, especially when we're doing just a real thin, quick line of it. There's not a ton of thick paint on this. So it dries really quickly, and it goes on to about any sort of surface. So even if like the Mod Podge is making it be a little bit slippery, it will go on that. If the wood's a little rough, it goes on that. So this is definitely ideal for this. But if it starts kind of wiping off your paint when you're brushing it on, you might just need to let that layer dry and then come back over where it was doing that. Just so that you can get it correct and get it filled in. So there's that. I love it. I love it. Now, I didn't worry about the bottoms for the red. I did go around and touch up my fingerprints on the sides where I'd messed that up. So these got all a little extra paint. Like I said, wasn't worried about the bottom. But you guys are ready to see these. These are so cute. I'm going to move this because there's not enough room on it for y'all to see the whole thing. So let's see here. Whenever I can get all the way over, it's kind of hard because I have you so high up. Look at that. Oh. Oh. Excuse me. Little hiccup. These are a little bit thinner. I might go back behind here in a minute and just get those a little thicker to match that one. Make sure that our look at that. I think they look so cute. They are so fun. My kids were even like, "Oh, Mom, those are cool." I didn't really like measure. I just eyeballed these, so you can see they're not exactly like the E probably should have been down a little bit, but I'm not really worried about that. Again, I'm gonna do them where they have like a space in between them, so it's not like they're gonna be meant to go exactly together. You could also do something like this and stack them. Let's see, can you guys see that? Yeah. See? And that's just cute. It's a fun little Valentine decoration. So, hope y'all enjoyed. I know it was a super long one, but it came out super cute. And I'll see you again here next week. Bye.